Good morning, everybody. I am Balaji, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, Nanda College of Technology. So today we are going to discuss about the topic planning. So we are going to discuss about the meaning of the planning, futures, importance, and limitations. We'll see one by one. So planning. What is planning? Planning is a blueprint of the course of action to the following in the nature. It is also a mental exercise that require imaginations, foresight, and sound adjustment. Sound judgment. It is thinking before doing. It is a preparatory step and refer to detailed program regarding the future course of action. Simply put, planning is the basic management function that involves forecasting, laying down in objectives, analyzing the different course of actions, and deciding the best alternative to perform different managerial functions to achieve predetermined goals. Thus, it is a continuous process that involves decision making. So, deciding the course of actions for framing and achieving objectives. So, planning is a mental exercise. So, the next step, key takeaway. Universal need required by all individuals, business, and non-business organizations. So is practiced at all type of organizations like small, medium, and large size of organizations. Continuous process. It is a continuous process. Once a plan is accomplished, a new plan is formed for the further course of action. And ongoing activities, new plan are formed and old ones are accomplished. The next one provides direction. Yeah, planning provide direction to the organization by helping them make clean and specific goals. However, planning may not work in dynamic environment that it is essential to accurate forecasting changes. Performance standard. Established benchmark for evaluate actual performance. Planning give a standard to the organization accounts which they can evaluate their actual performance. We just move to the next slide. Futures of planning. Futures of planning. So, by dynamically the above meaning and definitions, we can reveal the following futures of planning. The first one, objective oriented. Aim to achieve organization objective quickly and economically. Planning is a Planning is a goal-oriented work because its purpose is to achieve organizational objectives quickly and economically. These objectives are purposeful as they provide basic guidelines for planning activities by identifying the action which leads to desired results. The second one, primary management function. Planning is the primary function of the management as it serves as a base for all other management functions because it provides the basic framework within which all other management functions are performed. We consider this to be a blueprint as it provides the foundations for managerial actions. Pervasive. Planning is pervasive. It is a pervasive as it is required to all level of our managements and in all type of organizations. However, the scope of planning varies from one level to another. while supervising at the lowest level formulate day-to-day operational programs, and middle-level managers prepare different departmental plans and the top management plan for the organization as a whole. Heuristics involve looking into the future and anticipating events. So planning involves looking at the future. It's predict the best advantages of the organization. Managers plan to manage further events and further events to the best of their capacities. Planning also involves thinking about the futures for doing in the present. It essentially involves scientific anticipations of events, future events. The next one involves decision making. Planning is the process of making choices from various alternatives to achieve the specified objective. The need for planning rises only when alternatives are available. And in actual practice, planning the existence of alternatives. Thus, decision making is an integral part of planning as it involves a choice from various alternative courses of action. But if there is only one alternative, then there is no need for planning. The last one, mental exercise. Planning is a mental exercise. Planning is an intellectual process that is related to thinking before doing, involving imaginations and creativity. It is an activity of thinking based on logical reasoning rather than guessing and doing work. The process of planning depends on the performance of a planner. So, a planner must have intelligent imagination and sound judgment capacities. So, we just move to the next slide, that is importance of planning. So, what all the importance? Here we have six importance. The first one is provide direction. Provide direction. Set clear goal guidance messages and reduce aimless activities. Planning involves deciding the further course of action. Fixing goals and objectives is the priority of any organization. By stating their objective in advance, planning provides unity of directions. Proper planning makes goals clear and specific. It helps the manager to focus on the purpose for which various activities are to be undertaken. It means planning reduce aimless activities and make actions more meaningful. The second one is reduce uncertainty risk. Reduce uncertainty risk. The risk of uncertainty. Every business enterprise has to operate in an uncertain environment. Planning helps a firm to survive in the uncertain environment by eliminating unnecessary actions. It also helps to anticipate the further future and prepare for the risk by making necessary provisions. The next one, planning wasteful activities. Wasteful activities. It's simply reducing overlapping and wasteful activities. Plannings are formulated after keeping in mind the objectives of the organization. An effective plan integrates the activities of all the departments. In this way, planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. The next one, promotion creativities. Planning promotes ideas. Planning promotes ideas. Planning encouraging active creativity and helps the organization in various ways. Managers develop new ideas and apply the same to create new products and services, lead to overall growth and expenses of the business. Therefore, It is rightly said that a good planning process will promote more individual participants by throw up various new ideas and encourage managers to think differently. Facilitate decision making. Decision making means searching for various alternatives and selecting the best one. Planning helps the manager to look into the future and choose among various alternative forces of actions. Planning provides guidelines for sound and effective decision making. The last one, establish control standard. Lay down benchmark for evaluating actual performance and taking corrective actions. Planning lay down standard against which actual performance can evaluate and measured. Comparison between the actual performance and the predefined standards helps to point out the deviation and take corrective actions to ensure that events confront plans. In case of any deviation, the management will take remedial measures to improve the results. Next one, limitations. Limitations means disadvantages. We just take it as like this also. The first one is rigidity. Can lead to strict adhere to policies, discourages initiatives. So, planning brings rigidity to work and employee are required to strictly follow predetermined policies. There is a tendency that by strictly follow these predetermined policies, people become more concerned about compiling and these plans rather than achieving the goals. Sometimes planning discourages individuals' initiative and creative. It's strictly their freedom and new opportunities are ignored. The second one, dynamic environment, may not work effectively if changes in the external environment are not actual forecasted. Planning has to operate in an external environment such as government policies, technologies, etc., which is beyond the control of the organization. In any situation, changes in the environment makes the plan inoperative and ineffectively. So, planning does not provide a positive result when such changes are not accurately forecasted. The next one, reduce creativity. Employee may not slow their skills due to predetermined procedures. So planning involves the determination of policies and produce in and procedures in advance. Employees are required to strictly follow them and deviations are considered to be highly described. As a result, employees do not show their skills and it reduces their initiative and creativity. High cost. Planning involves huge cost. Planning is an expensive process because a lot of money is spending on gathering and analyzing information. It also involves the cost of experts, as experts are paid their planning. Effort should be made to benefit from the analysis and ensure that benefits derived from planning should be more than their cost. If the cost of planning does not justify the benefits, then planning should be avoided. Time consuming can delay decision making, especially during crisis. Time consuming. It takes a lot of time in collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information relevant to planning. This causes a delay in decision making. Therefore, during crises and emergencies, which call for an immediate decision, planning does not work. Sometimes advanced planning may lead to delay in action making, which may result in the loss of profitable opportunities. The next one, no guarantee of success. Planning does not guarantee success. Planning may create a false sense of security in the organization. Managers lead to adopt previous tested plans. But it is not necessary that a plan which has worked before will work again in the competitive environments. So we cannot say that the planning guarantee success. And the last one, resistance to change. Resistance to change. The employee become familiar with the method of doing work, so that resist changes and do not want to adopt a new method of doing work. Such unwillingness may lead to the failure of the plan. So the next one, 18 bar 20 rule is unplanned activities. For unplanned activities, 80% of the efforts, while less than 20% of the outcomes. The spending time decides what, when, and how to do this crucial to avoid unnecessary, unfocused, and inefficient steps. Limitations of planning can be overcome with careful steps, making it easier to adjust a plan than a deal with a crisis. So, related business studied copies. Management, the process of getting things done there others. Staffing, how to organize the faculty people and how to how to encourage them. Controlling, how monitoring and performance and their activities, everything control, monitoring, we want to monitor each and everything. Organizing, structured resources and activities in the achieving goals. For achieving the goals, we want to organize the activities and resources. Directing, instructing, guiding, and motivating employing to reach the goal. Simply direct the employees, because most of them don't know anything. Only few members know everything. So those who are all have idea, that people simply direct the juniors. Financial management financial resources for optimal returns. The last slide, conclusions. Planning is indispensable for organization success, providing directions, reducing risk, and fostering innovations. While it has limitations, careful executions can overcome these challenges. So, if you have any doubt, kindly just give it in the comments. Thank you, guys.